The project begins with a collaboration between the client and the architect. And the client's vision for the project is the starting point. And in this case, it was even more concrete than a vision. It was a foundation. And so the dimensions of the temple, the basic, what we call plan form of the temple, were given by virtue of the existence of the existing foundation. That all worked to focus our efforts. Certainly the ambition to construct a light-filled space was something that originated with the temple community. My name is John Patkau. I'm a member of the design team at Patkau Architects, along with my partner Patricia and Luke Stern, who are the project team for the Temple of Light. I've been a practicing architect for over 30 years. In fact, if you count the years since I started studying the subject of architecture, and I continue to be a student of architecture, I've been at it for over 50 years, which is a lifetime. Throughout that long period of time, in partnership with Patricia, we've been sharing the design authorship of projects since the late 70s. We've been in practice in Vancouver since the mid-80s, but our work is all over North America. It's been a lifetime of invention and experiment and growth. The temple is certainly a significant part of that ongoing invention and growth. And it's the kind of thing that, it's something you may not know, but there is no such thing as an old architect. In fact, architects tend to practice and do more innovative things in their older years than in their younger years because it requires such a long learning process. And so I'm at that point in my life where I've spent an enormous amount of time developing the skills, and these projects like the temple are the fantastic opportunities which now seem to be becoming available to exercise those skills. And so it's very, very satisfying. For us, this is a very exciting project. It's a unique opportunity to pursue a space of the spirit, which is something that we've never had an opportunity to work on before. It's a truly special opportunity for us. We've immensely enjoyed developing the project. It's been extremely challenging because we're trying to rise to the occasion. And the consequence is that we are building something which I don't think has been built before. Certainly not using the techniques which are founded on British Columbia wood craftsmanship, working together with Spearhead across the lake. As you can see behind me, the foundations for the temple and the auxiliary spaces associated with the temple are in place, and preparations are now being made for the prefabricated components of the superstructure to be installed. And these components are being fabricated just outside of Nelson at Spearhead. These are truly phenomenal things. They are beautiful, white, elusive, organic forms that I'm just thrilled to see emerge. And to see them in pieces is one thing. To see them assembled into a unified totality, as we will see in a couple of months here, is something that I'm anticipating with unbelievable excitement. This will certainly be the most remarkable thing that we've constructed. It is pushing our skills as well as the skills of the builders in every way. Everybody is enthusiastic and rising to the challenge. It's something that we are completely excited about. I hope to be here in this position and able to talk about what you'll see behind me, which will be something special. I should say that unlike most architectural projects where the architects and engineers design a project which is then constructed by a building team, this process has been very collaborative and integrated. We've been working with the builders from early days, and we've been working out all of the details with the general contractor, AHC, as well as Spearhead, who are fabricating all of the wood components. And without that collaborative process, I don't think it would be possible. So it's an unusual structure which has required a very unusual method of working, which I think has been educational for all parties involved. And as I say, a couple of months from now, the proof should be in place. Ultimately, the project, it is an extremely collaborative thing in which experience and youth and digital knowledge and formal knowledge, all of these things have to be integrated. And they can't sit side by side, they actually have to be integrated to have a successful outcome. We could have developed a much more geometric, abstract temple form, but based on our understanding of the values of the community and even the what I would call naturalness of the form, the organic qualities of the form were developed in response to the values of the Ashram community, and especially in terms of the impact that it has on architecture, the values regarding the environment and the need for the temple to be part of the natural environment was very informative. And as a consequence, what we call in architectural jargon the language of the building, the formal shape character of the building, was directly inspired by our conversations with the client group. The temple building is, I would suggest, the most organic building that we've constructed. And even though it is a striking form in juxtaposition to the landscape, we hope that it is very sympathetic and harmonious with the landscape at the same time. If it were some sort of supernatural, organic, natural form, that would be best. It's certainly an attempt to be that. And on this spectacular location, I really think that the naturalness of the form will have an opportunity to really be legible. I've visited a great number of buildings all around the world which have been inspiring to me. Many of them are spiritual spaces. Gothic cathedrals are an example. In some ways, one of the most memorable is the mosque cathedral in Cordoba, Spain, a mosque that was converted to a cathedral where the majority of the mosque space remained and a cathedral was inserted into the middle. Now that's a complex cultural and social transformation in history, but what I found so remarkable, especially about the components of that structure that were the original mosque, was the feeling of eternal value that you experienced from the architectural form. The fact that architecture could embody values that had that quality of being eternal was extremely profound and moving. And it's something that we aspire to in projects like the temple. Quite a different character of space, obviously. The mosque was a very dark space, and its darkness was part of what gave it its profundity, and the fact that there were moments of light within that darkness, especially some gold mosaics that were not illuminated artificially, so you just saw them glimmering in the darkness, was an extremely evocative experience. This temple, on the other hand, is a celebration of light. And so it is, in that sense, on the opposite end of the spectrum, but I certainly hope that it achieves a similar kind of intensity of experience, a kind of space that you leave and you remember, and you continue to remember for years and years and years. And this one will be a celebration of light.